For the record, before we begin, this episode was shot back in March 2019 in front of a live studio audience. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Chop and Brew. I am in Dono's dining room with Paul Illa and the aforementioned Dono.
Howdy.
Once again, Jeff Roach, from our brother from a northeast coast mother, has sent us 3 beers, and we're trying something very different. So these are all Tree House beers. Julius, Green, and Haze. On the other side, we have the descriptions of these beers, but we're not going to read them, as you've seen Don say in past episodes. Jeff wants us, apparently, with Tree House beers, everybody picks a team. You're either on Team Julius, Team Green, Team Haze. So we're doing our first ever blind tasting. Don expertly wrapped these cans in printer paper and scotch tape, which has no effect on their taste at all. And yeah, so as you can see, they kind of all look fairly the same, and we're going to drink through them, and I guess we're going to pick our favorite. We're also going to maybe try to guess which is which.
You guys have any initial inklings of, I think I like this one best?
Well, I've only gotten through number 1 so far, but I like that one a lot. Piney, nectarine, strawberry, a little bit of like dank resininess flavor to it.
Strawberry.
Yeah, strawberry nectarine. Like if you let it sit there for a second, once it washes away.
Almost a little acidic and tart.
Are you thinking the third one?
You mean this one?
Yep, the very first one that we poured.
The number one.
The number 1, correct.
I felt like the third one, and maybe it was just the glass and the way I just grabbed it or whatever, had like the most aroma. Which we've done this before, and we've had some of these before, and some of them are really throwing off aroma. And then another one isn't as much, even though it tastes great. It may or may not have as much aroma.
On one, yeah. I'll get a lot of that kind of tropical fruit.
Yep. It's
Garden
like
fruit.
2 and 3, I get way more pine. That piney, minty, herbally note to it.
Mm-hmm. Which, if you had to say, is the most dank?
I say number 3 is probably the most dank.
3 finishes the most bitter, which is kind of nice, because a lot of these kinds of beers finish creamy and soft. I kind of appreciate that, but it's almost...
Ooh, yeah.
It almost finishes, actually, now that I go back to it, a little overly bitter.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like astringent, almost a little bit like bite, where the bite is right inside.
Or just like hot.
I would say these 2 are kind of my favorite. 1 and 3. Because they're so contrasting. You know, this one's bright, fruity, not as bitter on the finish, and this one is the complete opposite. It's more bitey, piney, and herbally. Welcome back, Dono.
I just did some dishes.
Do you think people are going to call your kids Sawyer-O?
No. Although that would be a fun...
It's Sawyer-O!
That was fantastic.
I might be on team 2, whatever 2 is.
2 is almost a marriage of the first 2. Or of these.
I feel like 3 is just a little... I mean, which is ridiculous, because in other beers, I would be happy with that bitter of a finish, but I think that bitter mixed with just kind of the gluttonous of the haze and the hop residue kind of vibe. I'm thinking of what beer I want to drink at least like 2 of over
And if
a
you're
half hour, and I think 2 is probably...
Do you think that one's hazier too?
Yeah, I want to say that this one probably
way,
has a lot of wheat or
there's still
oats
like
in it.
beer in there, so I mean it's not like
I
poured out the dry.
Right.
In fact, we could.
But you know what I'm saying? Like this one feels like it has a lot more of the adjuncts in it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Or we could do, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's pour out the dregs of each just to see. You want me to swirl them up real good?
All right. Yeah.
Oh, y'all! Jeff Roach is like, dude, you're wasting 2 ounces of beer! Dono is pouring.
Oh man, you could get a spoon out and.
Ooh, yum.
But that's what even Hetty Topper, he always talks about that too. That it's got the.
This is science.
Junk in the
Are you
trunk.
watching this? Anonymous balloon head guy?
I don't know when I like to take a
pull
or anything off these. But...
Balloon head, oh. Man, those are
they're
straight
like
true.
a lot different.
Yep.
So this is the
Well,
last.
yeah, and you think about how much is precipitated out in the can. Can you imagine what the cone of that fermenter looks like? Oh my god!
But you smell number 3, and that's exactly what we're getting out of the glass.
Oh,
That's
for
like-
sure.
Yeah.
Yep,
like-
for sure.
Man, that's crazy. Even on the aroma of what's left behind, I would say number 2. So maybe I'm just a number 2 guy.
Hey-oh.
Everybody's a number 2 guy.
I like poop. I would say this. If I was going to have one beer, I would get number 3. If I knew I was going to place, we only had 15 minutes, I was going to get one beer because that like 115% of hop, I would want that in that setting. I would be like, I want it. I want to be able to like walk away and still taste the hops.
Yep.
But if I'm in it for at least a couple of beers, one of these two, and I think number 2.
But I think this one definitely has more oats or wheat or something because that head is hanging around and it's just full and creamier but it's way more bitter. Way more bitter.
I think it's more aromatic too, though. For
Number 3?
whatever reason. I don't know if it's because this is the glass I have compared to these other ones, but I think it is. Excuse me?
But
It definitely is too. I don't know.
yeah, if you're talking
You think so?
drinking
I might
like
be-
session drinking,
I'm torn between 2 and 3.
I gotta go juice, man.
I think before
Number
we
one.
drink it all, we gotta start looking.
All right. So we're gonna flip them
We
over.
might even have more sheets.
We're gonna look at the descriptions, and then we're gonna try to
First
guess
one.
which one is which, and then we're going to figure out. Well, no, I think we should pick what team we're
I
on.
even
I think we should pick what team we're on
printed
first.
off too much.
Could
Oh,
go.
really?
I think,
Yeah, you might be right.
or at least so what team are you on before reading the descriptions?
Well, then I do have to do one more final. Well,
I'm-
I agree with not.
I'm team
3.
number 1.
I'm gonna say.
Personally. I
I'm
like
gonna
the juice.
say I am number 2.
The juice is loose. I don't think 2 as juicy. It's definitely has a little more of the bit. Let's just say it's like almost like these two were blended to get this one.
Wait, you're on.
I'm on team number 1. Whatever that is, I'm on number 1. I like the juice. Like I could sit down, have 3 or 4 of those, and be cool.
I might
with
be
it.
number 1 as well.
All right, so let's flip them over. So Julius, bursting with fresh hand-selected American hops. Flagship IPA, bright, juicy beer. Aromas of mango, peach, passion fruit, citrus juice, soft, pillowy mouthfeel, rounded bitterness. Which one do you think that is?
I gotta think that's number 2, personally.
What about you, Dono?
Well, I haven't read the other ones, but the double IPA Haze, this third one is
I'm
the
just
most
gonna write
hazy.
So
It's
2.
the kind of the biggest kind of wallop, which you think if they're increasing the alcohol, they might be increasing the IBUs.
Yep.
So I would guess that 3
Yep.
would be Haze.
I'd go. My pick would be 2, 3, 1. The tropical heavy. I mean, as soon as you drink number 1, tropical heavy, right? Pineapple, orange, lemon, tangerine.
You were sort of saying that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Let me look at the hops. Australian American hops.
This is the weirdest thing we've ever done. It calls this one
Doubtful.
orange sherbet.
Yeah, I just. I
don't know. I'm
I
having
think you're spot on with Haze.
It
I
is
think
unfiltered
Haze has
and
gotta
intensely kettle and dry. Aren't they all unfiltered?
Haze has
Like-
got to be number 3 because it's just so much bigger, and they're the head, like I say, the head retention. So you're talking more malt, more oats, more,
Just-
whatever
it's
they're
got more
putting in,
oomph.
just everything.
These
right?
two are kind of, like, we're
So you
chilling,
think-
we're out for a long day, and this guy's like, no, you have
Yeah.
one beer,
You
it's
were
last
going to
call,
have one.
you worked all night.
For sure, right? And I think as it's warmed up a little bit, the bitterness has softened just a touch.
Is this what you're officially
I am having a hard time coming up with either my preference between those or also I think I did vote, but which one I think might be which.
So we've got some differences in opinion, but not much. Before we get to the big reveal and let you know what Tree House team we're on, I want to let y'all know that this episode of Chop and Brew is brought to you with support from BSG Handcraft, slinging fine malts and hops from around the globe into your home brewery. And Imperial Yeast. I was recently reminded of just how awesome Imperial's Harvest Lager strain is when a starter of Harvest absolutely chewed through a 1070 OG extract Maibach, got it down into the lower 10 teens. That beer is now cold crashed, lagering for the month of April, and it's about to be tapped for my box season come next month. And of course, the Patreon party people who are always on Team Chop and Brew. You can help them keep the show rolling along at patreon.com/chopandbrew. So we have a difference of opinion, but not much. We agree that Haze is number 3. You and I say that green is number 1. You say green is number 2.
And I think they could be.
We say that Julius is number 2. You say number 1. All right,
I'm not
your
really,
Christmas present.
Number 2.
I'm not really saying. I'm just sort of guessing.
Oh, this is like Christmas. It is Christmas.
This isn't green.
Wow.
So we were wrong.
We're wrong.
So green is 3. So keep them in order. I mean, we got
This is number
the
1.
paper. This is 3.
Dude.
Wow, that's awesome.
Dono was right about this.
Oh, well.
Did we nail Haze though? Yes. No, that's 2.
No, we did not.
What? That's
Wow.
crazy.
So
We're
one
loaded.
that one of the ones we really liked to drink was the 8.2% double
Yeah,
IPA.
that's okay.
So
I
then-
think that. I'm on team that.
So green is the one
I'm
we
on Team
thought
Haze.
was. That's the middle of the road as far as the alcohol goes.
So Julius is number 1. Wow. Okay. I'm down with that.
So now that we have this out,
Wow.
which one you liked? Which one best, Paul? The number
I
one.
was number 1. Yeah. So
And that was
Yeah,
Julius?
that's Julius. Yeah.
And I was between 1 and 2. So I was between Julius and
Haze.
Haze.
It doesn't surprise me that I liked the 8.2% one.
Genius.
Even though we tried to force it to be that. That's
Right.
funny. And then green is green. I mean, I think that's kind of why we all shy away from it. To a degree, it's almost too green.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it lingers.
Yeah, like you
very
could
green.
taste like it's like you're chewing on a hot pellet. It's pretty up in your face.
So in the
Haze
end,
got the magic.
we're both Haze and you're Julius.
I am
Number 1.
number 1. Yeah, Julius. Yep, definitely.
Poor green.
You're the outcast.
Yeah, but it was good.
No, I I think all.
Like I said, that would be my last call beer.
Yeah, and again, if I
Making
had
messes.
if I had to choose,
They're all about 7%. It's not like any of these are like
right. And if I
the
had,
session version.
yeah, and if I guess like a post-work beer, I mean, I think number 2 would probably be the most satisfying. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of got that bitterness strength to it, but it still holds on. Still holds on to the idea of the New England IPA, the fruitiness, the bitterness. I guess the creaminess, like you said.
Jeff Roach, I hope you
Delicious.
like what you got. I don't know. Did Jeff Roach tell us what team he's on?
Not that I remember.
I'll put it right here. I'll email him and I'll ask. Jeff Roach's team. And with that was our first ever blind tasting. We did pretty good. I mean, we kind of failed, but we also did good.
But you
And
know,
I think that's the
cards-
mission.
the
That's
cards
the
are a
mission
little
statement
stacked
of Chop
against
and
you
Brew.
because there's not a big difference between the beers. They
No.
say, you know, from top to bottom, obviously the green was more. It would definitely came off as more bitter, but I mean, flavor profile wise, I mean, it's not that far out in left field. You know.
Yeah. All right.
We got to have a Christmas in March.
I love
Which was
opening presents.
That's true.
Phew, that one.
Are you drinking the drag?
Just even like a sip of that is very much like if you were to drink a little bit of what's left in a kettle after.
Oh yeah, scrape the bottom. Pass.
All right, chop for chop, brew for brew.
Brew for brew.
Jeff Roach, cheers to
Cheers,
you.
everybody.
Coming up in the next few episodes of Chop and Brew, we are getting back to brewing. Out in the garage, it's a double brew day as I brew 2 variations of nursing stout. One, a traditional kind of English milk sweet stout, low gravity. One, not so traditional at all, with fenugreek, flaxseed, and chopped dates in the mix. In another episode, we revisit my king cake ale concept, except this time, we are going all in and mashing with little mini king cakes for a very, very unique beverage. And keep your eye out on May the 4th we're doing a Star Wars themed episode. We get together a merry band of Ewoks as we brew up and enjoy an NE IPA from down under that used to be called Jedi Juice.
Compare them. You can compare how they look, and it'll be equivalent comparison. Whereas I don't have that big of a glass. I had it figured out. I'll tell you what.
I really love
literally,
Okay,
it's
so
like
let's
this.
so let's do them one at a time so we don't
it's
get
like
confused.
this.
Pour
Yeah, so
the
he
one.
can do that.
Fuck
You can do 2. I'll do 3.
His 2, my 2,
Yeah, I mean, it's
your
not
2.
that
Oh my
hard.
gosh. I can smell it as soon as I opened it.
Well, that's the thing is you want to get her open and you want to get her drinking because their aromatic is you know what.
And you want to save a little bit, you said?
Yeah, maybe.
The paper kind of throws you off a little bit.
Ooh, that was.
Mine tastes like Scotch tape. 2. This is 2.
This is 1
1,
and a 1.
This is a 1.
and then
This is
this
a
is
2.
your 2. So this is your 1, and those are our 3s.
I think this one had some hops in it.
It gets difficult,
This one's
though, right?
kind of hazy.
What's up, Sawyer? Come on through. This is my video. I don't care if you come through.
One thing I can see is like this one isn't quite as the head doesn't hang around as long. This one's a little bit better.
Smell that number
I
3.
just burped hops.
Smell that number 3.
All the bros are freaking out right now. They're like, yes, Haze.
And then we're gonna mix these 3 together, the trube pour, and have a contest, and whoever wins or loses has to drink it. I don't know which.